of the differences in opinion, sometimes I question myself and I say, well, okay, what is the best way to go about this? Do I just purely represent what the majority of the teachers say, and I come here and I say it? Or what do I do with my ideas? Because I'm consistently being told, and I'm being very candid because I am like that. I'm consistently being told, you have to say this because this is the majority is telling you this. And my idea might or might not be, in agreement with that. So I'm in this process. I'm a little confused sometimes. I want to do what my heart tells me, but I also understand that if I was selected to represent the teachers, the logic tells me that I need to bring to the council what the majority of the teachers say. So sometimes I'm so in that sense, sometimes I'm a little uncomfortable. Okay. Lo en español, perdón. Pues él me preguntó que si yo me siento cómoda en mi posición de maestra como pues representando a los otros maestros en el concilio. Y yo le digo que a veces últimamente, como las cosas se han acalorado un poco, pues yo me pregunto en mi corazón qué es lo mejor que yo puedo hacer, qué es lo más justo que yo puedo hacer. Entonces, pues recibo unas personas que me están diciendo, tú tienes que decir esto, porque pues la mayoría de los maestros, esta es nuestra opinión, entonces ese es tu deber, tú tienes que ir a... Entonces yo entiendo, sí, estoy de acuerdo con eso. Y también pues otras veces tengo una idea en mi corazón y digo, bueno, ¿y qué hago con mi idea? Porque no es esa. Pero bueno, si mi idea no es la mayoría, pues entonces muchas veces, pues... O sea, a veces tengo ese debate interno, pero pues yo quiero hacer lo correcto y lo justo. Y creo que es representar a mis compañeros.
La pregunta de David fue para Maritza, si como representante de los... O sea, él sabe que ella dice que ella opina cuando quiere opinar, pero la pregunta fue si ella viene a hoy para apoyar realmente lo que dijo el PPLC, o sea, la decisión de los maestros, ¿verdad? No. Sí, se sienta...
si yo me siento cómoda como representante de los maestros en el equipo.
I just wanted to follow up because the question wasn't, I mean, I totally feel for you because it's not a position I would want to be in. But and given the fact that you don't always agree with the majority, but again, we're elected to represent the members of the school community. I mean, I'm represent the neighborhood or community, whatever. But do you feel comfortable with supporting the teacher's decision that the PPLC and the union rep? I understand that you might not personally agree with it, but do you feel comfortable supporting it was the question. And I do feel for it.
Pregunta David otra vez que, o sea, él siente que él sabe lo que está pasando con ella, tener que representar la mayoría, aunque tal vez su opinión no sea igual, y entiende que es difícil. Y que cada uno ahí representa el grupo, los padres representan los padres y él representa la comunidad acá, pero repita preguntar si ella está disponible, o sea, está cómoda de apoyar lo que hicieron los padres en este momento, del PPLC.
Maestro.
Sí, gracias.
Sí, yo me siento tranquila porque si ese es mi deber, traer la opinión de la mayoría de los maestros aquí, pues la mayoría de los maestros votaron por el PPLC. Y yo vengo y lo digo.
She's very comfortable with this because that's her job. The teachers decided this, and her job is to bring that to LSC. She's very comfortable with that decision.
Well, I was going to say, based on that, can we, I would like to amend your motion to say that we accept the faculty, the PPLC, and if we want to decide for lottery on the 3 positions that remain, that we could do that. That might be a way to move us forward in a more harmonious way.
Dice Mary Beth que basado en esto tal vez se puede agregar que la moción de Judy, que aceptan los de PPLC y el representante del sindicato y tener una lotería para los otros 3 espacios y así tal vez tener más unión, o sea, para seguir adelante.
But not, I can't do it friendly. So can
Mary
we
Beth?
repeat the, oh, I'm sorry.
I just, a question on your motion for, you're trying to amend it. And my question is, you amended there, I have a letter from the president of the Bilingual Advisory Committee, which was also elected, which did put out their agenda, and they want to be part of it as well. So, and I don't want to open up the door on that.
Oh, that's why you're bringing it up.
Was she not at the meeting? It's one, there's really isn't a functioning. Yeah.
Are we kind of the
Well,
teacher positions right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, if you open up the door on one, you can open it.
I just feel you open the door on one committee, you should open the rest of them.
On the whole committee.
No, we're talking about parents. Parents are.
We're not open to the floor right now.
Yeah, we're not open to the
Okay, well,
floor.
I'm saying.
We're not open to the floor. If we let you speak, then we open it to everybody.
Could you,
So we can't really.
can we repeat the motion?
Clarify, I didn't understand that.
Okay, maybe while you're looking for the number.
You know what, I'm gonna hold off this comment, only because this is right now concerning just the PPLC. So I'm gonna hold off on this comment.
Thank you, because I was thinking that you were bringing up an issue that's relevant for the parents, and Mary Beth, I haven't got the exact language of the amendment yet, but what I wrote so far is Mary Beth Fleury would like to amend the motion to have it read that we accept the teacher's proposal, that we accept the PPLC as the teacher representatives and separate it out from any other,
Right now.
to just decide on the teacher representatives, that we would separate it out from the, so if you want to try taking a stab at restating it, then I'll try and type
What was
it.
the original motion?
Están hablando de emoción y tal vez agregar algo de aceptar el PPLC.
So I would like to amend,
Excuse me, can everybody be heard in this manner? Approach an LSE member? Because I don't think that
This is, yeah.
Parliamentary procedure, and people are concerned about that. Well, I would amend that the selection committee, that it not be a lottery for the teachers by cycle, but that we accept the faculty decision to have PPLC and the union rep as representatives for the teacher. And then the lottery would be for support staff and parents.
La agregación de Mary Beth es que la parte de los maestros que aceptan el PPLC más la representante del sindicato y que para los otros 3, o sea, los 2 padres y el representante de los empleados, que sea por lotería.
I need to be clear what you're doing. You're separating the, am I loud enough?
Well, the amendment right now, yes, is to separate it.
You are
No, it didn't.
making an amendment to accept PPOC as the representative for the teacher selection committee and a lottery, or you just, what is the amendment that you're making?
Well, the amendment I was going to make was to separate, but.
But you can't, point of clarification.
I know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can I suggest parliamentary-wise that you could do
Open
what's
it.
called considering the motion seriatim, which is to break it into pieces. And so you could consider the teacher part of it as one piece and vote on that, and then vote on the other pieces.
Which haven't had a chance for discussion.
You can make a
Right.
motion to consider the motion seriatim. Pardon me?
And then we can open up for discussion. I want us to open up for discussion before we have a vote, but I thought I would amend this. So this is a way, I'm sorry, that it would be,
You could break the motion into pieces, basically, and say that you will consider the motion seriatim and.
But this is open now, David, or no?
no,
I'm just trying to make
I'm just
it
getting some,
Okay,
no,
stay
I'm just
in
getting
the same thing.
some help.
I'm trying to help the chair with
She's
that.
trying to help me out with this, to be able to.
He say no to him, he said no can't talk. He can talk somebody.
I'm sorry.
So, talk everybody to talk.
Okay,
Okay,
Maybe the
Mayor,
parliamentarian.
you want to
or
separate,
chair.
you want to
Open it
separate
because
the
everybody wants to talk.
PPLC representation, so is there an amendment to separate those? Yeah.
I don't know. What is the best thing for us to do? Perhaps we will open up to discussion, and then if we decide to have an amendment, we can have an amendment.
La idea de Mary Beth es tal vez abrirlo a todos discutir y después van a hacer su agregación a la moción. tal vez.
Yes, we do.
¿En dónde se van a firmar los nombres? Porque yo no puedo firmar allá. Tendría yo que hablar con el señor Pérez. Yo no puedo pasar ahí. So I wanna talk first. First on the list, because no way for me to pass by and sign my name.
I can sign your name.
Your name is here.
No, I'm not gonna be in the bottom. I'm getting the first now. Because they're supposed to let us know when everybody has to sign it.
Right.
And if nobody says nothing, then that's not fair.
Well, we can also move to extend the discussion.
I'm gonna speak first.
We're on the
Why they sign in the back? Why did they sign in the back? Why they don't tell everybody?
We can let you speak first, and we can extend for 2
Okay.
minutes if we need to.
No, that's fine. Okay, mi punto es este.
Mi punto es este. Yo creo que estamos perdiendo mucho tiempo en tratar de ser felices a los maestros. Creo que también nosotros como padres tenemos derecho de hablar. Otra cosa es esta. Nosotros somos mayoría aquí en el concilio de la escuela. Somos 6 padres, los votamos por ellos. Entonces, que dejemos que ellos hagan el trabajo. Yo pienso que no necesitamos ningún comité. Pienso que ustedes mismos pueden hacer el trabajo y tienen que ser justos con los padres. Esta escuela está hecha por padres. Todos los padres están ayudando siempre. Es cierto que no pertenecemos a ningún grupo. ¿Por qué razón? Porque muchas veces no tenemos el tiempo como tienen otros, ¿ok? Muchos tenemos hijos pequeños y no solo eso, no es justo que siempre nos vamos a las 10 de la noche hasta que cierto grupo es feliz. Aquí tienen que ser justos. Y cuando van a escribir el nombre en una lista, tienen que avisarnos a todos.
Lily, she said the point about the teachers and everything, we're really just wasting our time. Parents, of course, need time to speak. The parents are right now on the majority. There's 6 parents. They're the majority of the LSC, and we voted for them. And we shouldn't have a selection committee. It should just be the LSC. We don't need a committee. We have the LSC. She's not part of any parent group because. And many people aren't a part of a parent group because they don't have the time, they have children, are not able to be participants in that. And then lastly, they have this list here, but they never announced that the list is open, so she wasn't able to go and put her name on it.
I believe that Mrs. Hooper's motion is in direct conflict with the history and the traditions of Inter-American. I've been here for 17 and a half years, and one of the things that I've always loved about Inter-American, besides the dual language philosophy, is the participatory and democratic participation of all members of the community and the teacher empowerment that was always encouraged by our administration. And I want to say something about how we chose the PPLC. And I've been part of the PPLC since it was since we were required to have a PPLC by law. And that is that at the beginning of the year, the teachers in the cycles, they sat down and they used consensus to discuss how they would get into their committees. We didn't have a vote because we never needed a vote. If there were any conflicts on it, we talked about it and we ironed out the conflicts right there in the cycle. And what I want to say is that on February 18th, those PPLC members were elected by the majority of the teachers who work in the school. Lo que yo quiero decir es que esta moción está en contra de la filosofía y la práctica de esta escuela. Yo tengo aquí 17.5 años aquí y siempre me ha gustado mucho, siempre he querido que bueno, aparte de la filosofía de 2 idiomas, que los maestros, los padres y toda la comunidad está dado poder. Y en nuestras reuniones de la facultad siempre ha sido así. Nosotros, al principio del año, siempre escogemos nuestros representantes para el PPLC y es una manera de consensos en que nosotros arreglamos los conflictos. Si 2 personas quisieran ser en el PPLC, ellos arreglan el problema. Y si esas 6 personas sí fueron elegidos el 18 de febrero por la mayoría de los maestros que trabajan aquí, 19 de los 36 maestros.
¿Qué dije? 19 de
The next person come up. Whoever's next in line, could they come up?
Is there a line?
Yeah, please get up.
Erica.
I just wanted to say, and to remind the LSC that it was in fact your directive that sent your 2 teacher reps back to the faculty meeting to select their representatives. So they were following your instructions, and that's what they did. And I think that it's only fair for us to honor what they asked for. I also want to remind you that the criterion you established for your own participation on the Principal Selection Committee was the fact that you were elected by the entire school community. I acknowledge with most parents here that you will have the final vote in the principal selection process, but it now seems that you want to change that criterion for participation of other members on the committee. And I'm wondering how you can explain that inconsistency. And finally, if you're going to have a lottery, I'd like to know what the process would be, and like to know if you're going to open your 10 seats for that lottery as well. Thank you.
Dice que en primer lugar fue el mismo concilio que mandó a las 2 maestras a reunirse con los maestros de la escuela para elegir sus representantes. Entonces, si no acepta esto, realmente van en contra de lo que ya decidieron ustedes. La segunda cosa es que el criterio para ustedes, para ser parte del comité, es que fueron elegidos por los miembros de la escuela. Pero si van a cambiar el criterio ahora de ser parte del comité, a ella le gustaría que ustedes expliquen por qué están cambiando ahora los criterios. Y al final dijo que quiere saber cuál va a ser el proceso para la lotería y si alguno de ustedes van a dejar sus puestos en el comité para abrirlo a más padres.
I was told that there's no longer adult supervision in the library, so either someone can help out or you need to, I would guess, get your children if we were still in a library.
Ya no hay niñero o niñera allá arriba en la biblioteca, entonces hay que ir a ayudar allá arriba o tal vez sacar sus hijos.
I just wanted to, again, call everyone's attention to the over 200 names you have before you from people who, across the school community, look at the list. It is a very broad, diverse group of people who are asking you to respect the wishes of the teachers and choose a democratic process for putting the parents on this committee. This is the history and the traditions of this school. And if you are going to reverse 20 years of history at this school, you owe everyone in this room and everyone in this school an explanation as to why. We know it is not about the process. What is going on here? I'm glad you feel good, I'm glad you got it off your chest, Judy, but you are setting the school on a very dangerous course. You're making it virtually impossible for any new principal, to whoever he or she may be, to come in and run this school. Just so you know that.
Dice Erika que ella quiere llamar su atención a la lista de más que 200 nombres de personas que firmaron una carta, una propuesta para apoyar lo que son el PPLC y que sea democráticamente que elegimos a los maestros. Y estos 200 nombres son de muchas personas de la escuela, de muchos grupos de la escuela. Y realmente lo que están haciendo ustedes del concilio es, van en contra de 20 años de historia de esta escuela, de democracia. Y si van a hacer así, va a ser una cosa muy difícil para un nuevo director o directora entrar en esta escuela de lo que están haciendo ustedes.
I'm Gia Super, I'm a second grade teacher at the school, and I just wanted to speak for myself as a person on that list of 21 people who was interested in being on this committee. That was a very informal raising of hands of people who might have some interest in being on this. This was not a letter of intent, this was not an application, first off. So I don't feel, and when I voted for the PPLC because I felt represented by them and I didn't need to be on the committee myself. Second and third of all, we did vote for them that day. It does not matter if they hadn't been voted in originally because we looked at that list and we said, we're voting for these people. So those are the three things. And then if you are not going to do what our first choice was for the PPLC, I urge you to please not do a lottery because that won't be fair or just to anybody. We don't want a lottery, we want a choice. Me llamo Gia Super, soy la maestra de segundo grado aquí en la escuela. Yo estoy en la lista de 21 personas que expresaron interés en estar en este grupo y estoy diciendo que yo voté por el grupo de PPLC porque yo pensé que sí representaron a mí y que yo no necesitaba estar en el comité porque realmente siento representada. Segundo, sí votamos por este grupo, no importa que no eran elegidos antes porque votamos por el grupo entero ese día. Entonces no importa lo que pasó antes. Y tercero, ¿cómo se dice? Lotería. Bueno, una lotería no sería justo, no sería bueno para nadie y lo que yo quiero no es algo justo como lotería, quiero escoger a alguien.
I'll be very brief. I want to second what Gia said. I agree, and I just want to say that personally, it's very disturbing to me why members of the LSC are spending so much time, valuable time, questioning a process that the teachers are actually unified on. You're on the
Sorry, no,
it's not.
Try again.
We don't as a group agree on everything, thank goodness. As teachers, we have differences of opinion and we discuss them and we bring them out. But actually, we did agree on this. We agreed on how to choose it. We agreed to vote. We had one person suggest lottery and that received one vote of the 29 people voting, and as opposed to 19 who voted in for what we chose. So to me, it's clear, it's straightforward, and this is something that the teachers are not divided and arguing on. So I'm baffled as to why members of the LSC are choosing to make this an issue. This is not an issue for us. Let's move on. And having a lottery is random. This was thoughtful, careful, and what the teachers chose under the guidance of our representatives on LSC. Yo estoy de acuerdo con lo que dijo Gia y me molesta y me preocupa mucho por qué miembros del Consejo Escolar quieren pasar tanto tiempo cuestionando un proceso que los maestros están de acuerdo. No estamos de acuerdo en todo. Gracias a Dios tenemos diferencias de opiniones y nos escuchamos, pero nos pusimos de acuerdo en esto y bajo la guianza de nuestros representantes del concilio llegamos a un acuerdo y ¿por qué estamos haciendo esto? No entiendo.
First of all, just to clarify a comment that came from a board member earlier about the function of FELE and the assumption that we were a fundraising entity. In fact, I'm a bit surprised that we have to remind the LSC and the members of the LSC, since we are a committee that reports to you, what our mission and what our bylaws state. But hopefully you'd be familiar with that, but our mission as stated in those bylaws is that we are advocates for the students and the parents, and we're here to be their conduit for communication. To answer the question as to where we were during the proceedings, my answer is this: we were here. We were here for the parent forums, we were here for the workshops, and we're certainly here this evening. To that end, FELE is prepared to serve the parents as our members by participating in the principal selection process. We were elected to do that by their support. Further, FELE is prepared to name Nelson Gonzalez and Andrea Montgomery as our representatives and as the parents' representatives in this process, in the proposal that has the support of over 200 parents. And to me, the message could not be clearer. We must fulfill our mission as the parents' representatives, and we intend to do that with all your support. If you have issues, bring them to FELE. That's what we're here for. We are your conduit to communication with the school. Thank you.
Dice Greg que quiere clarificar algo para los del concilio y no entiende por qué tiene que clarificar eso, porque realmente el comité de FELE es un comité del concilio, entonces deben saber esto, pero según los bylaws realmente del concilio, o sea, del FELE, el grupo de FELE es para servir a los padres y representar a los padres en la escuela. Y han estado aquí, los miembros de FELE han estado aquí en todas las reuniones y todos los foros para esto. Y que por parte de FELE, ellos quieren nombrar 2 personas para representar los padres de la escuela en el comité. Y son Andrea Montgomery, que es miembro de FELE, y Nelson González, que es otro miembro de FELE. Entonces, eso es en la propuesta que tiene más de 200 firmas apoyando esta propuesta. Entonces, urge, si tiene problemas con el FELE, que vienen a hablar con el FELE.
Mi nombre es Laura Crote y yo soy una madre de Interamerican desde el día primero que llegué a este país. Mi hijo llegó a este país sin hablar una palabra de inglés y él entró a esta escuela a aprender de los grandes maestros que se encuentran en esta escuela. Yo corrí también para el consejo local y no gané. Sin embargo, me siento representada por ustedes, padres que están sentados en esta mesa, y de alguna manera estoy confiando en que su sabiduría, su justicia y su capacidad de aceptar la diversidad que de hecho implica esta escuela les ayude en el proceso de seleccionar un principal. Pero me siento muy ofendida, tremendamente confundida. ¿Qué es exactamente lo que este proceso está buscando? Ustedes propusieron un sistema de elegir, les propusieron el sistema a los maestros les obedecieron y cumplieron con su objetivo y lograron su representación. Lo único que yo quiero decir es que esta carta está firmada por mí y por muchos otros padres. Creo que ahí está FELE y están ustedes representándonos al resto de los padres. Ustedes van a elegir.
Her name is Laura Crote, and from the first day she came to this school, came to this country, she was part of this school. Her son came to this country not speaking a word of English, and he was taught by some amazing teachers. She ran for the local school council this year and didn't make it. She said, I trust in the 6 parents on the committee to represent me, to represent the diversity of the school and what's best for the school. But she said, I am offended and confused about what this process is all about. She said, I signed the letter, the proposal about trusting the teachers. You all told the teachers to go and select your representatives. They did that, and now you're not following that. And I signed the letter as well because it says that FELE should represent the parents, which they do.
John, it's your turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You have it.
Hi, John Straw, parent. I really have one simple question for the local school council. Solo tengo una pregunta muy simple para el concilio. And this ties into what David asked Maritza Soto. Tiene que ver con lo que preguntó David para Maritza Soto. who do you represent? And how do you decide how you represent those people? ¿Quién representan ustedes y cómo deciden cómo representarles? Last week I asked for a vote for how many people supported that proposal, and if there were 80 people in the room, 70 raised their hands. La semana pasada hice una pregunta, de las 80 personas aquí en el salón, ¿cuántos dieron su apoyo a esta propuesta de FELE y PPLC? Y de los 80 fueron como 70 que votaron sí. I've heard some of you say you represent a silent majority, but I've never heard any of you give any ideas of how those people can come here. I want to see those people. Let's talk. Let's hear what those people you represent we don't see. I want to know where they are. Algunos de ustedes dicen que representan una mayoría silente. Entonces, yo quiero ver a ellos. Nunca han una propuesta de ustedes para ver a ellos aquí. And so I'd like to vote again. How many people support the PPLC and the FELE in this room? ¿Quiénes apoyan esto, el PPLC y el FELE? Who support a lottery for all of those, the parents and teachers? ¿Quién quiere una lotería para los padres y los maestros? I think your job is really easy. You've just seen the vote. Su trabajo es muy fácil. Ya saben lo que queremos nosotros.
We have to represent those who are here too. We will get 300 votes next week, another 100 the week after that. That's easy to do.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Ernesto Martínez. Yo le quiero decir dos cosas al Concilio Escolar. Una, esto que está pasando es porque no se pusieron las reglas claras del juego para elegir los maestros ni a los representantes. Ya los maestros votaron, yo creo que eso no se debe tocar ya eso fue votado y ya sería contradictorio. Bueno, esas reglas no se le dictó a los maestros cuando se hizo el voto. Eso se debió haber hecho una semana antes o cuando se dieron las instrucciones a los maestros, que era lo que queríamos. Eso está votado. Lo otro que quiero decir, que sí, esa carta que pasó la semana pasada, habían 70 personas, pero somos 360 familias aquí. No somos 70 familias nada más. Y no se le votó a esa familia. Y no creo que se pueda decidir aquí, que la mayoría, porque aquí es una muestra. Me dieron otro minuto. Y eso no es justo. Y esa carta, buscando firmas aquí, es una forma de intimidar al Concilio Escolar. Y eso es lo que yo vi allí. Así como, aunque yo estoy de acuerdo con lo que dice la carta, esa no es la forma. Hay reglas y hay normas. Y el Concilio Escolar, me disculpan, están fallando en poner el proceso en orden. Y esto está pasando porque ustedes están dejando que pase. 70 personas son 20% de lo que votaron.
His name is Ernesto Martinez, and he said that the local school council set up the rules and asked the teachers to select their representatives. And this has been done, so let it go. They've done it. You should accept that. That's what you asked your teachers to do that, and they did that. So we should just let that be because it's already been decided. Secondly, he said last week there was this letter and there were 70 signatures on it. He said there are 360 families in the school, and that those 70 don't represent all 360. They're just a portion of all the people in the school. So what we say here shouldn't decide what everyone in the school believes. He says, I agree with the letter, but I think it's a form of intimidation to the LSC, and it's not the best way to go about this. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, that the LSC is failing in its job right now. Así dijo que. Allowing this to happen, the LSC shouldn't allow this stuff to happen. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chris Johnson. I've been a parent here for 9 years. I have to say that I have always been happy and impressed and very proud to be part of this school, to have teachers who are so dedicated and who use a process that's so inclusive and so democratic. I've taught many years in the public schools. I've been a union representative for teachers. I've seen a lot of undemocratic situations, and believe me, we have here a very, very democratic situation that we should be very proud of. I would like to know from the LSC people who have not spoken where they stand on the inclusion of the committee that the teachers have elected. Could I hear from either one of you, please? I have a few seconds left. Could we hear from you? I mean, you've never said anything about where you stand on this very, very important vote. But you don't want to tell us your opinion about it? Thank you.
You can have my minute.
They're not going to answer.
You have a minute from seated from the floor. I'd like 30 seconds from each of you. Linda?
Come on.
And Mr. Miller? Okay, we've been told we will hear from them. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I do want to say something. We do have 70 signatures in that letter, but that letter don't count. Don't have the signature of the principal. Therefore, you taking over the principal's job. Let the principal do the job.
What? There are 200 signatures on the letter, as I understand it.
It can be 200, but it's not validated.
And it's also not something that the principal would sign. That wouldn't be her role to do that, because that's a statement about the principal position that's coming.
What I see over here is people want to, do the things the right way, not think on the future children's. We gotta think of our kids, not what.
Yeah, I think everybody here has the children's interests at heart, but I think what we have to do is respect the will of the people who have spoken. Thank you.
Ella se llama Chris Johnson y tiene 9 años de ser madre aquí en la escuela. Está muy feliz, emocionada por ser parte de esa escuela, que es una escuela democrática, tiene muy buenos maestros. Ella ha sido maestra aquí en Chicago también, ha sido representante de sindicato también y ha visto muchos procesos no democráticos. Pero este proceso aquí es democrático, dice ella. Pero lo que quiere saber del concilio, hay 2 miembros del concilio que al momento no han hablado a la moción, o sea, Jeff y Linda, y quería que ellos digan lo que están pensando de esta moción, y recibió un minuto del señor aquí, pero no quisieron opinar de eso, y después Dante dijo que la carta solo tiene 70 firmas, pero no está firmado por la directora Mrs. Helwing, entonces no vale. Entonces Chris Johnson dijo, sí, no, tiene 200 firmas, pero realmente no es una cosa buena que una directora va a estar firmando esto, no es parte de su trabajo estar firmando esto, porque es el proceso de elegir un director, entonces no tiene sentido. Y después él dijo que está aquí para hacerlo bien y para sus hijos, y Chris Johnson dijo que todos estemos aquí por nuestros hijos.
I'm going to address the LSC directly. Of course, you have the right to do whatever you want with this selection committee. You are the LSC. You also make the final decision about the principal. But over the last 5 or 6 weeks, I was given the distinct impression that you wanted this to be an open process in choosing the selection committee. I want to ask you, after observing this evening's discussion, what has been the point of the forums? The 6 or more meetings we have attended will have been nothing but a charade and a total waste of our time and energy. What came from the forum was that the parents of the school wanted an open, inclusive process. And I feel that by what is happening tonight, it is an open power move. It also is very disrespectful of the 2 teacher members on the committee. My fear is that you have the potential to divide the entire school, to rip it apart at the seams. I hope and pray that you do not do that. This school is too special and too wonderful.
Catherine dice que quería hablar directamente al concilio. Que sí, ustedes tienen derecho a hacer lo que quieren con este comité y que al final de cuentas ustedes van a votar por el nuevo director o directora. Pero durante estas 5 semanas de reuniones y foro, ella escuchaba que ustedes querían un proceso abierto. Pero ¿para qué tener estos foros y todas esas reuniones con lo que está pasando esta noche? Parece que lo que quieren ustedes es el poder. Y lo que están haciendo es una falta de respeto a las 2 maestras del concilio. Y que si votan así con esta moción, realmente van a dividir la escuela. Y ella tiene la esperanza y está orando que no hagan eso ustedes esta noche.
I would like for us to take some time to think about this, because I think that we've heard some really important points this evening, and I would like for us to come up with something that could move the school forward in a harmonious way. If we vote, and I'm not going to make any, right now I don't feel like I want to make a tricky amendment, I want us to move the process forward, and I want us to do it in a harmonious way. How can we best do that?
Dice Mary Beth que quiere tomar unos minutos para pensar, que ellos piensan, que piensan y buscan una manera de realmente mover este proceso adelante, pero que sea una manera de armonía para unir la escuela. Ella no quiere meter ninguna agregación a la moción rápido o algo del aire. Realmente quieren que el mismo concilio piensa y que busca la manera ahorita de llevar la escuela adelante con armonía.
I just wanted to, I've had many sleepless nights over this. I've heard lots of things from lots of people. I'm grieved at how polarizing this whole process has become. And in that, I've seen that there are two extremes. And as someone that's been elected to represent, I don't know how to represent two extremes. You can't cut me in half. I don't know how to do that. And so the only way that I've been able to come to, in my mind, not to disrespect anyone, because I certainly am not about that, and I would like to hope that all of you realize that and know that, who may not know me. And so, as I've tried to look at how do I, as someone who's been elected to represent these people, represent two polar extremes, and I don't know how to do that. And so the only way that I've been able to come to, in my mind, to be able to do that and not be disrespectful to people, but in this position, which the only way that I can see to do that in an unbiased way is to do a lottery. And I don't see, if we do a lottery, I cannot see, I believe that it needs to be across the board. I don't see that there's any way to get around that.
Does that include you and the LSC?
It does not include us as the LSC, it includes all the additional members.
Jeff dice lo siguiente, que ha pasado muchas noches sin dormir, que ha escuchado a un montón de personas, y lo que sabe es que realmente tenemos una escuela dividida a dos extremos. Y como representante de la escuela, ¿cómo puede él ser representante de los dos extremos sin dividirse en medio? Y para Jeff, para los que lo conocen, que es una persona que quiere respeto para todos, que no quiere ir en contra del respeto de todos. Entonces para él la única manera de no dividirse y de representar a todos es tener una lotería para los 19 puestos del comité. Perdón, los 9 puesto del comité aparte del concilio. Gracias.
And, you know, I understand that, Jeff, and we have talked a long time about that, and I think maybe at some point we have to come to some sort of compromise, because we have heard from every single person who stood up here tonight, from both sides, that the faculty need to be respected, and that was a democratic process. So I don't know what the best way is. I also recognize the divisions in the school, and I also know that we all want to move it forward, but we've heard from everyone here tonight that this process needs to be respected. So if we vote against that, what message are we sending to the school? And I think we really need to think about that. And I don't know what the answer is, but I just know that we've heard from a lot of very concerned people who want the same thing that we want, the best committee that we can have in the fairest process, and it really feels like that process was a very fair process. So, yeah.
Mary Beth dice que entiende lo que está diciendo Jeff, pero quiere saber cuál va a ser el compromiso entonces. O sea, ¿cómo vamos a llegar al medio entre los dos grupos? Y la única cosa que ha escuchado ella esta noche, que todos que hablaron dijeron que hay que respetar lo que dijeron los maestros. Entonces, votar en contra de esto es dar un mensaje a ellos, una idea a ellos que no es muy bueno. Ella no tiene la respuesta de qué hacer exactamente, pero y ella reconoce que todos aquí quieren lo mismo, que lo que es mejor para la escuela. Que tengamos lo mejor comité posible.
I just wanted to say actions speak louder than words. I mean, I think your sentiments are felt very strongly, but when you speak of two extremes, I don't know where the other extreme is, or if there's 150 or 250 parents somewhere that are opposed to this, but I just haven't seen them. And so my feeling is, in a democracy, you have open meetings. It's the Open Meeting Act. It gets posted 48 hours in advance. You invite people to come and discuss ideas. You invite them to defend their ideas. And I think the people that are here have been defending their ideas. I understand that there's people who aren't here, but that's all fine and good. The people who are here are representing themselves and have spoken, and I just don't understand the other extreme. I just don't get it. So actions speak louder than words.
Dice David que lo que hacemos habla más fuerte que lo que decimos, y realmente no ha visto todas estas personas en contra de la propuesta de los maestros. ¿Dónde están? Y no cree que sean 150 o 200 personas que están en contra de eso. Y tenemos estas reuniones, y en una democracia tienen estas reuniones y aquí vienen para opinar. Entonces aquí estamos opinando, y la mayoría aquí dicen que están en favor de lo que es el PPLC para el comité.
Mary Beth, there's a motion on the floor right now. We have a full agenda still going on. It's almost 9 o'clock. And this is why all the previous meetings have been getting delayed. If you keep delaying it, and that's fine. That's your way to try to change our vote. Let's just take a vote. Let's decide now on the vote. There's parents that want to go home. I think they're interested. Let it be known. Let it be decided now.
Well,
Why should we delay this for another 20 minutes?
No, I'm trying to help us come to a vote that would move us forward harmoniously. That's what I wanted to try and do. And if it means amending it so that the motion that is before us accepts the PPLC, maybe that's a way to move us forward in a harmonious way. That's what I'm trying to engage us in dialogue, so that, because I've heard we're pushed in a corner, let's talk about things, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I don't feel like we're talking. These are my concerns, and I don't know if they're concerns of other people. We heard from Jeff, but we haven't heard from other people, and I don't know if these are concerns of other people. And I think it is a really important decision. The rest of our agenda will wait till another time. We'll figure out how we're going to do that. There was no committee reports as far as I'm aware of, so we don't have to do that tonight. This is much more important. We can end at, 9 or 9:15, but we need to compromise, we need to move forward in a way that the school is going to be behind us.
Fabian, do you want to translate, and then I'll translate for that?
Le pregunté a Mary Beth que hay muchos padres que han estado esperando, han estado aquí noche tras noche, cada miércoles, y ahorita hay una moción en la mesa que ya hemos dicho y estamos esperando ya una respuesta, ya que todo todas las cartas caigan a la mesa. Eso es lo que están esperando los padres, ya que haga la decisión, no que seguimos aquí discutiendo para 20 más minutos. Usted sabe que ya todo el mundo ya sabe los votos. Yo no creo que hay ningún miembro en el concilio que no sabe su voto. Si ellos lo saben, ellos ya tienen su opinión. Usted puede estar aquí preguntando y vamos a estar aquí horas tras horas tras horas, y eso es lo que ha sucedido en todos los otros meetings anteriores, y por eso vamos a estar. Yo no quiero seguir hablando, yo no me quiero decir, deme voto, ya decidimos, si pasa, no pasa, si no pasa, no pasa, y seguimos. Eso es todo lo que pido nomás. Ya plantando de discusión, votamos, ya está la moción en la mesa, vamos a votar. Ya olvídense de esta discusión, ya hemos escuchado, hemos tratado para darle respeto a los padres, hemos dado anterior horas tras horas, y por eso decidimos. Usted sabe que I don't want to go there. I just want it to be over. Let the vote end. Let it be decided.
Y Mary Beth dijo que nada más quería un diálogo más, porque es un voto tan importante que quiere escuchar lo que piensan los demás del concilio, buscar una manera de salir de esto con armonía.
If that, then I will make a motion then. I was hoping that we could come to some sort of a compromise. I would like to amend the motion that instead of saying that the faculty will be, the teacher positions will be by lottery, that the teacher positions, that we would respect the decision of the teachers, and that the parents and the staff be by lottery. So I don't know exactly what that wording would be. I'm trying to move us in a forward position that will be acceptable to as many people as we can. And we've heard tonight that everyone feels we need to respect this decision. So the motion, or my amendment would be, I move that the selection process for the principal selection committee accept the decision of the faculty, which would be the PPLC and the union rep, and that the remaining positions be by lottery. That would be my amendment to the motion. Is there a second? Okay.
La agregación de Mary Beth es lo siguiente, agregarlo a la moción de Judy Hooper, que para los maestros que respetan lo que decidieron los maestros, que sea el PPLC y más la representante del sindicato, y que para los otros 3 posiciones del comité que sea por lotería. Y hay un segundo también.
So we vote on the amendment, is that correct? All in favor of the amendment as stated, please raise your hand.
There it is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Solo 4 votaron sí.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No one abstained.
Shame, shame.
Okay.
Shame on you people.
So we vote on the motion.
Ahora van a votar la moción de Judy.
You don't have.
No fue agregado de la moción.
My motion was that there would be a lottery for the teachers by cycle. Support staff and the parents would have separate lotteries. The teacher lottery would be conducted on Friday, March 11th after due notification. The ESP would also have a lottery on the same day after due notification. Parent lottery would be held Wednesday, March 16th, also after due notification, which would include notices to be sent home to parents no later than Friday, March 11th, with a reminder notice to be sent on Wednesday, March 16th.
All in favor?
Wait, clarification. Was this discussed outside of the meeting? Okay. I just wanted to get point of clarification. Okay. No, as a group of 4 or more people. Now, you can discuss things outside of the meeting, but I just want to get clarification on that. I'm just checking, Diane. I'm just checking.
Entonces la moción, you want a translation of the motion again? ¿Quiere traducción de la moción?
Okay, all in
Sí,
favor?
alguien dijo que sí. Entonces, la moción es lo siguiente, que para elegir los 9 miembros extras del comité, aparte del concilio, va a haber una lotería. Y la lotería de los maestros va a ser por ciclo y va a ser el 11 de marzo. Para los otros empleados de la escuela va a ser otra lotería el 11 de marzo. Y no para los empleados. Sí, un puesto de empleado, ¿no? De los padres va a ser otra lotería que va a ser el 16 de marzo y cada vez va a haber notificación, o sea, van a mandar hojas a todos para que sepan que va a haber estas loterías.
All in favor? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed? 4. No abstentions. So we plan a lottery. We don't go anywhere. We plan a lottery.
That's right. How's it going to work?
Yeah, you can't leave.
Dice Mary Beth que no pueden ir, tienen que decidir cómo va a ser la lotería.
No, no podemos salir ahora, nosotros no podemos salir, tenemos que planear la lotería.
Se pasó. The motion passed. But we need to plan it. We need to figure out how we're going to do it. We need to write a letter to go home. We need to figure out who's going to be there. This is because this is this Friday. We need, I was saying, people were gathering their things and leaving, and we can't go anywhere. We've got to figure this out.
Judy, you know what? Since the teachers have to be notified, we can give a notice to the teachers. We can write a letter. I'll be here tomorrow, and I can also be preparing with your help if you're here, and maybe a couple, at least 3 members of the LSC. We can write a letter tomorrow, distribute it to the teachers for Friday, so this way the staff knows and is notified. The parents will at least notified if we could send it out by tomorrow, between tomorrow and Friday.
Well, we should, okay, so this is what we need to talk about. That's all I'm saying.
Right,
Is we need to
and
figure
this is
this
what
out.
I'm
People
saying.
are
At
gathering
least
stuff and going.
tomorrow we can get this done. We can get it going.
Open
And take
process.
care of it. There's at least 2 teachers. There's 1 other member of myself, Judy. There's at least 5 of us on the LSC that are willing to come here tomorrow and write these letters.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
So, okay, all I'm saying is we need to discuss this.
I'll stay all night and watch you work.
It should be discussed so that everybody can hear it. I did not hear that. I'm a member of the LSC.
Well,
Yeah, let's step back for just a second. You guys, let's step back. People were gathering their things and starting to go, and all I said was, we need to sit here, we need to plan out how this is gonna happen. So let's do this in an organized way, okay? We need to figure out step by step what is gonna happen. That's all I said. And we need to do that. I'm assuming we're gonna table our meeting to another time, because we need to talk about this right now.
Well, I think someone should make a motion to move the LSC meeting that we're going to have tonight to next Wednesday, whatever date that is. That's the lottery for the parents?
What are you people doing out there?
Correct.
What a joke.
You know, I don't think it should take, it should, if we're consistent, we really should have the names down. We really basically should have some sort of process in place. And it should only take within half an hour. Basically.
Okay,
You were all ready for a lottery coming in.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Do
the lottery now. The lottery for the teachers, you're saying it should take place this Friday. At the regular staff meeting, when?
¿Quiere saber cuándo deben hacer la lotería de los maestros? ¿Va a ser durante la reunión de ellos?
Point of clarification on Friday meetings. Who dictates what happens at the Friday meetings? Is that up to the principal or the local school council?
¿Quién decide lo que pasa?
The PPLC. The PPLC, but we have to notify make sure that we notify everybody that there's going to be a lottery done, and what is the process of the lottery. Everybody puts in their name, and somebody goes in, and we
Take into consideration, it's got to be by cycle. I think we want to take Jeff's criteria into consideration. We want to make sure there's equal representation by Latinos as well as Caucasians. And I would also, I think that it's very important we have faculty that have been at the school greater than 10 years and faculty that have been at the school less than 10 years. Those are criteria that we decided upon earlier in one of our previous meetings. So however we can get all of that in a lottery.
I don't think that was decided in the motion of the just criteria of the
Jeff
gender.
brought it up earlier.
Jeff brought it up earlier, but he didn't vote for that. He voted.
No, those are criteria that as the LSC we had been brought forward as criteria for the selection committee.
I'm surprised that the PPLC will now say how they are not given enough time. When we initially had picked the 6 teachers, they went out of their way and got ready and left the other staff members out. Now, you're going to tell me the PPLC can't get ready within 2 days?
I'm just suggesting, I don't know about that. I'm just suggesting we have to take those criteria into consideration.
I think it was a simple process. There's no.
I'm sorry, you have to wait until they finish.
Then, if you feel like you need to leave, you only need 6 members to keep a quorum. Okay, if you want to cooperate with us, Mary Beth.
Yeah, let's have it right now.
Now that's intimidation.
Yeah.
That's not.
I need, and I think Maritza will agree with me, we need clarification how to conduct this lottery. We were accused of not conducting the previous election correctly, okay? So on this one, I want step by step how the last time, we were accused. It wasn't democratically, everybody was not there, whatever. So this time I want something specific. This is how it's done. This is how many people are going to be there. We need to know because I need to notify. We need to notify. You need translation on that.
I'm tired if someone else could step up.
Esta vez necesitamos, Maritza y yo, como maestros representantes, saber paso por paso cómo vamos a conducir esta lotería. Previamente nos dijeron que no conducimos la otra forma de elegir a los miembros correctamente. So, esta vez quiero que me digan detalladamente cómo vamos a hacer este proceso de lotería.
Y lo siento, nada más yo estaba diciendo que hay varias cosas que tenemos que tomar en cuenta, que anteriormente hemos hablado. So I was just saying there's things that we had talked about earlier that we agreed were really important to the committee.
Can I ask you something? I know you said about Jeff's suggestion. Can you give me an idea, how could we go about balancing it off? If that is what the majority here feels that would be best, I'm thinking, then by all means, we do it that way. We do the lottery, but taking into consideration
We want the ratio,
the proportions of all these details you said.
That was one of the
Okay,
criteria.
now, I would like some ideas on how we could do that doesn't complicate it too much, right?
I mean, we know we want grade level, that's easy enough.
Okay, but we're talking about people, anyone interested, and we don't put any limits to anything, right? So it's a grade level of cycle, a cycle. Okay, so we put in the hat or whatever. Do you have something that we can move, or I don't know, I'm just asking. Yeah.
Small rocket scientist,
Can someone bring that, please? Okay. Now, so when we select, we don't select the names. Anybody interested is entitled to participate, right? So how can we do the balancing when we take them out? I don't understand.
That we can do, by cycle we can do.
Okay, since you're doing it by cycle, you can't put everybody that's interested in the teacher's lottery in that same pile. You have to conduct cycle by cycle lottery.
And my suggestion before is if it came to this, it's up to the teachers. This is an opportunity for the teachers to choose whether or not they want to show unity, and each cycle can pick, each cycle it's up to those people to decide who wants to put their name into the lottery. And so if you guys want to talk to the staff about that, and then each cycle puts the name of the people that are in the PPLC on the lottery, then you're going to have a stacked lottery and you're going to get who you already asked for.
With the lottery, it will be very difficult to get the balance that you are
absolutely.
asking.
Oh, yeah. So
care
that,
about the
yeah.
balance
Going
anymore.
backwards, totally backwards.
And then we don't have to worry
Back
about it.
to
But
6 weeks
otherwise,
And you're supposed to represent us.
so, and then how do we determine the Latino representation and Caucasian representation? I mean, I think
we decided it was a lottery by cycle. Whoever wants to participate, like David said, if there's only one teacher and maybe the PPLC one representative, and she's or they might be the only one that are running, then so be it. But it was at least everybody was allowed to participate. If 4 members of that cycle and only one wants to be in it, that's what we agreed to. This is where it's fair across the board. And that was, so, I don't know, the decision will be who wants to participate, what staff member.
Something that was already there.
A name gets picked out within each cycle, and that's the lottery. Just how everybody's picked here.
Point of information.
Or how the students are picked here.
A point of information. What do you do in the 6th cycle when you already have those people already on the LSC?
I'm sorry, repeat yourself.
You have one cycle already represented, so what do you do with that cycle?
We had given our position to the union rep. So that still goes, oh, how do we do it?
That was originally done. We had given our position to the union rep. If it needs to be put in the lottery, then the upper cycle then won't, I guess, put their names on it and put the union rep in it. I don't know. But since we are giving our position, then we can grant that to our union rep. I'm asking, because we said cycles. So technically, all the cycles, but we are represented here already. So do we put the remaining 4 people in that if they want to be interested, or can we, do we have to motion or petition or something to give our cycle to the union rep? Because the union rep is part of a cycle. Yeah, because she's a teacher here. I want to make sure that I have clarification. Yes, no? Yes. Yes, 1, 2, 3. How many members of the LSC?
I agree.
Yes.
Could that be restated so we all know?
The upper cycle teachers will not enter into the lottery. Instead, they will give up their position because we're represented here to the union rep. And it has been accepted by the members of the LSC.
So, going back now, there will be at least 3 members here tomorrow on Thursday to work on a letter for the parents to go out hopefully Thursday afternoon and Friday morning. Okay.
What about open meeting requirements? Advance notice?
For letters, just for the letter to go home.
You know, Mary Beth, I'm surprised that now you're asking for everybody to see it when, well, but I mean, I'm not, unless I take it personally to yourself.
I'm just requesting because it has to do with the principal selection process. I mean, I haven't sent anything home that you guys haven't seen. If we're gonna send a letter home that represents what we're gonna do, we should all see it and know what's gonna happen. That's all I'm saying. And it can be by email. I mean, you just send it out by email. And
Right.
just like the agenda, just like I send the agenda to all of you guys every week before I post it. It's the same thing.
Okay, then I guess we can have you receive a letter as well. And,
Just by email, and
it's
we all
fine.
know to watch, to look for our email
Right.
tomorrow night.
It's
And if
fine.
we don't see it and we don't comment on it, then it goes out anyway. But
That's fine. And, but at least there's 4 or 5 members working on it.
I mean, that's fine, but I think everybody needs to see it.
Okay.
We need to decide on the process. If we're gonna have a lottery, we've gotta take into account parents who work, so we've gotta figure out where we're gonna have it, a central location that we're gonna have it, that the hours, we should have somebody here at 7 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning until 7 at night, because parents who work are gonna need, I mean, we're gonna have to provide a time for them to be able to come in and put their name in the lottery, right? So I think we need to, before Wednesday, that's just something that comes to mind that we need to talk about.
Did you just say 4 or 5 people are going to work on the letter? And when is this going to take place? If the second part of the definition applies to a majority of a quorum of the body, this body is 10 people, a majority of this body is 6. If you have more than 3 people, that constitutes a meeting. There has to be a public notice for that meeting, and it has to be an open meeting.
I have a question. I have a question. The lottery that we need to do for the teachers on Friday, Judy, is one separate lottery for the teachers and another for the staff member, for the position. And both are this Friday. No? See, both? Okay. Uh-huh. And I'm sorry, maybe you said this and I didn't understand. So Monica and myself, we should notify the teachers, tomorrow morning, that will take place. And so the other teachers make arrangements to be there. Okay.
We're requesting time on the agenda.
Okay.
So then the letter is gonna be, and put it out by email so that people know to comment on it, so that it can go home on Friday. And then we need to, sometime before Wednesday, we need to talk about what that process is gonna look like and how we're gonna do it and who's gonna be here. I think we have to have somebody here before school and after school to accommodate people who work. I mean, how else are they gonna be able to bring their lottery neighbors? So that's just my 2 cents into the process. It's gotta be open to everyone, so we've gotta be here. So we have to determine how we're gonna make it secure, how we're gonna make it fair, you know. Because somebody who works all day needs to be able to get here and put their name in, that's all. Yeah, but no, it needs to be confidential. We need to have a box where that person can come and drop their name in. Because then if you leave it with staff, we're risking that somebody's going to question. They have to physically be able to, just like any other lottery, we have to physically be able to put it in the box. So that's why we just need the time frame. And that's, I mean, I think I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just saying that we need to make it available for parents to
That's
work.
fine, then we can, there could be somebody here between 7
Yeah.
and 7 p.m.
That came from Pure, when they talked about if a lottery was chosen, that it should start at 7 in the morning and be till 7 at night, so that parents who work can, I mean, Dante, I know you talked to Ishmael about it, that parents can come in before they drop their kids off or before they go to work or after they return from work.
One of the questions was, how will we make sure that people don't repeat a name? Well, we mark off their names off a checklist. They're only supposed to be signing off for themselves. But my question is, I thought we were also going to just send a letter, even if you couldn't come in, just as the letter made it. Right.
Are you screwing this one up good?
Louder, kids.
Sorry, what?
They can't hear you, Diane.
I'm writing down the teacher participate, but I think I also need to know how you're going to conduct that parent lottery, because I like to be informed. So just repeat it for me. That's all.